Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today we are back with another discussion video. This time around, we are going to be talking about vices, but more importantly, I wanted to focus on both negative vices and then positive vices. So we're going to talk about three of each, and just like basically how I feel about them. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone has different opinions on vices and which are good, which are bad, but like definitively, I think I know the difference between what's bad and what's good. But I mean, let this video be the judge of that. You can say whether I'm wrong or right. I don't know, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, this is the first negative one. I mean, I think is negative, which would be alcohol. Now, I don't drink alcohol. I never will drink alcohol. Even when I turned 21, I was like, I'm gonna focus on working. Like, I don't know. Alcohol was never something I was interested in drinking because I have seen how it affects other people in real life, in TV, movies, etc., what have you. And I don't know, man. I just think like alcohol is just not for me. And I also don't want to die when I'm in my 40s. That's another thing. But yeah, I think alcohol is not a good thing to have, not a good thing to drink. I will never drink alcohol, and if someone says there's alcohol in this, I will refuse to eat it or drink it or what have you. Even like if I were to ever be in a relationship and like the person that I was with is like, hey, you want to go out for a drink? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm good, because I'm not gonna drink alcohol. And if I end up going to a bar, water, or I'll bring my own drink. I don't know, but like I'll bring like whatever's in here, which is an energy drink. But we'll get more into that later. But point being is I don't want to drink. I think it's simply put. I think it's bad to have, and like I just don't want to do it. I also, the thing is, I don't know how it would be as like a drunk. Like and I don't want to find out. I'd rather stay sober and keep it that way. I think that's kind of the end point of that. And I think this is one of the negative vices. Like, we're starting with the negative vices, so this is just something I'd like never want to get into. I never want to drink. It's just not for me, I guess. But anywho, moving on to the second negative vice, which is smoking. Found some creative images for this one, but yeah, smoking. I've seen how it affects people and how it affects people in TV, movies. It's kind of the same thing as drinking, but like dude, I've like literally, what's funny is like back in middle school, like we had an assembly where they showed how alcohol, smoking, and drugs can affect your body. It's crazy. They actually brought in like I'm pretty sure they brought in like real lungs, real like brains, real organs. Like they brought in real things to show you how this stuff affects you when you get older. Or if you do this stuff. So smoking like has a huge effect on the lungs, and I'm kind of a vocalist, so I'd rather not have my lungs be affected by this because I'm fine with common cold. I think smoking is just the worst possible thing you can do. I've never smoked. Never gotten like never even had a drag. Like I'm not. The thing with these negative vices, like I'm not willing to risk my health for some addiction. I think that's kind of the moral of these negative vices. But moving on from smoking, this is kind of a brief one. Just drugs in general. I've never taken drugs. I never will, because again, I've seen how it affects people, and it's not a pretty sight. And if drugs are all you're about, that's fine. I'm not willing to risk my health for it. I'm trying to stay healthy, and that's kind of the goal. But all in all, like, drugs are like an overall negative vice, and you could consider alcohol and smoking a part of drugs. But like, yeah, man, just seeing how it affects people, it's not a pretty sight. And yeah, the people, I mean, if you do drugs, whatever, more power to you. I remember there was a time when I was working retail. It was like back in 2019, around there, I think. I'm trying to think. I think it was 2019 when this dude I knew was a stoner. He like I don't know. It's a weird story, but like basically he was into smoking weed, and he like he was like, why don't you smoke weed, man? I'm like, I just don't. Makes you dumber. Like, I don't know. And he was pretty much the dumbest dude like that you could meet. He's like, no, it doesn't, man. I don't know. I've heard that like weed makes you like think slower and makes you slower, it makes you more dumb, I guess. But like, it's something I will never do, and just I'll never do that. But anywho, moving on from the negative vices, because this is just stuff I'll never do. Moving on to the more positive vices, the stuff I actually do, that I find positive, and you can see it as negative if you want. I think they're positive. I don't even know if you want to call them vices, but they kind of are. But they're like positive vices. But moving on to the positive vices, starting with video games. Now, people say video games are like a really bad addiction. Like, oh, you just spend all your time on screens. I spend all my time online because this is what I do as like a full-time thing, or try to make it a full-time thing. But yeah, I don't know. I see playing video games as a positive because like this is part of what keeps me happy, is playing these video games and enjoying these new experiences, just playing them for fun and throwing them up on YouTube and streaming them. I think is even more fun when you include all that into the mix. But I've been playing video games since I was like, I don't know, I want to say 7 or 8 or 9, something like that, around there. But I've been playing them for all of my life, and that's never going to change. Literally will never change. I will continue to play video games as long as I can, as long as I'm still breathing. I think it's a positive vice to have, to be able to enjoy these video games every year. I think it's cool. It's a cool thing. But moving on from video games, I do consider music a vice in a way, because I constantly listen to music. I think it's an important thing to have. Without music and video games, I wouldn't be the person I am. I think like both of those things have had a huge effect in my life, and they're super cool to have. Because I don't even know if music is a positive vice. I feel like listening to music, it calms me, I guess. I don't know why. It just makes me more focused, and I enjoy life more with music around. I think it's really cool to have. I will like lower my windows in the car and play music as loud as I want, because that's the vibe. That is the vibe on my way to work and to and fro work. Like I will play some music. But moving on from that positive vice, going on to and this might be a negative or a positive. It depends on how you look at it. Energy drinks. That's all that's in here. And I only drink like 1 or 2 a day, energy drinks. I don't drink a ton a day. I try not to, because I feel like if you overindulge in an energy drink, you have like 3. If you have 3 energy drinks a day, that's unhealthy. But I try to do 1 or 2 a day, and it's just to keep me going. It's like I get tired, so energy drinks kind of help with that. But I try not to have a ton, and I think it's a good thing. But energy drinks could affect me in life. I have no idea how they're going to affect me in life, but hopefully they don't affect me poorly. It's not alcohol, so it shouldn't, but who knows? I like energy drinks. I think I prefer them over coffee, because coffee does nothing for me. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think like it's good to have vices as long as they're positive, as long as they're not negatively reinforcing your life. Like, I want to stay healthy, and I think like part of that is finding things that positively reinforce your life, But anywho, that's gonna be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate a ton. I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, good. Bye.